Trump. Imagine this, raging at a New York judge and the current president, Joe Biden. He won the election. This was right before his hush money trial. That's what they're calling it, but there's a lot more to it. Donald Trump woke up raging at Judge Juan Merchan and President Joe Biden. This was just hours before his most recent trial was set to begin. You know it is special when you have to say most recent trial because he has so many other things going on in multiple jurisdictions, okay? So let's get into this one if we shall. Trump will be required to appear in court, every day because this is a criminal trial, right? Jury selection in the case, hush money payments, porn star Stormy Daniels, those are your buzzwords, in order to interfere with the election. That's the theory of prosecutor Alvin Bragg. It resulted in a several dozen count indictment of one Donald Trump. I know this is stock footage of Stormy, but she's ready. She made it quite clear, I follow her on social media, that she's ready to appear and tell her story. Sometimes I hope she doesn't tell too much of it, if you know what I mean. Maybe there's not much to tell.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
While Judge Merchan recently expanded a gag order against Donald Trump after Trump relentlessly attacked the judge's daughter, Lauren Merchan, that has not stopped Donald Trump from lashing out at Merchan. Trump went to bed ranting about the trial. And on Monday morning, he picked up where he left off. This is Mediaite with the details. In a series of Truth Social posts, Trump attacked the judge and the president with well-worn and debunked attacks. In one, he attacked Judge Merchan in the same breath. He asked for him to end the trial, which he falsely accused the president of instigating. As virtually every legal scholar has powerfully stated, the Biden Manhattan witch hunt case is, among other things, barred by the statute of limitations. This trial should be ended by the highly conflicted presiding judge. Well, it's not going to end. It's not going away, okay? In fact, they're seating a jury. That's what's happening. The trial will move on, despite what he says. It's just not going to stop. But it doesn't stop him from trying now, does it? So there's more to this. Besides Truth Social, Trump then attacked Biden again, complained he couldn't be out in the field knocking Biden, the radical left. It's just the way I love to say the word radical. Okay, I think Kelly Loeffler in Georgia started that against Raphael Warnock, but that's a story for another day. She's gone. Raphael Warnock is in the Senate, and Donald Trump is repurposing the word radical. The radical left Democrats are already cheating on the 2024 presidential election by bringing or helping to bring all of these bogus lawsuits against me, thereby forcing me to sit in courthouses, spend money that could be used for campaigning, instead of being out in the field, knocking crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States. Election interference. I'm pretty sure that's part of this case. And you're the defendant, Donald Trump. Speaking of election interference and trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, at least those are the allegations. They have to be proven in a court of law. Okay? They've got to be proven. Trump is, in fact, free to campaign nights, weekends, every Wednesday during the week's long trial. So that gives him plenty of opportunity. Yet another post, Trump blurted, why didn't they bring this totally discredited lawsuit 7 years ago? Election interference. Now that I might agree with. Trump also falsely claimed the gag order is unconstitutional, writing, I want my voice back. I can hear that. Donald Trump wants his voice back, as if this crooked judge has gagged me. Unconstitutional. The other side can talk about me, but I am not allowed to talk about them. Rigged trial. Some of this is just regurgitating, right? It's the same old thing. Everything's rigged. Everything is against him. You know, narcissists behave like this. I have no degree. I have not a single degree. I might have some experience with a couple narcissists. I won't name them. They're very litigious. But narcissists tend to do this. They project. I read an article just the other day that talked about how narcissists, again, I don't have Donald Trump's medical records, and I'm a layperson. But I read this article that said everything a narcissist accuses you of, they're actually doing. They're the ones who are doing this. And I love how the mainstream, will call it, we got to come up with a better name for it because it's not really mainstream, but the mainstream media is covering this. I was watching MSNBC and their position, and I believe they mentioned their legal ruling internally, is that Donald Trump was resting his eyes. Now, multiple witnesses told the truth. He was asleep. Perked up a little bit when one of the prospective jurors, who I believe was stricken, said, "Oh, yeah, I did read his books, Art of the Deal," although Letitia James would call it Art of the Steal, and then he butchered the other names. This is the reporting anyway. And Donald Trump did perk up and open those bloodshot eyes. But this trial, and the judge here, Judge Mershon, has said, you continue to violate this gag order, and I'm going to throw you in jail as an option. That's an option I'll leave on the table. Nobody really believes that because he's violated time and time again in multiple jurisdictions, and nobody said, here's some clink clink to think about things. Nobody did that. But we'll see where we go from here. The reporting also shared earlier today that I saw that there were multiple members of the bar, even a district attorney in another jurisdiction, who were brought through that courthouse and dismissed ultimately. But these are your prospective jurors. Some of the jurors being cagey, okay, not saying what they are, Democrat, Republican, whatever. Some people want to be on the jury. But we'll see what happens here. The fact is, Donald Trump continues to rage against Joe Biden, who I believe was in the Situation Room just yesterday. Donald Trump was in a courtroom, stole that from a newspaper headline. I'll figure out which one. But we'll see. There will be other rantings that we will cover, and we'll, of course, get your take on what you're hearing. Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor in this case, though, seems, well, he's hell-bent on just staying focused, staying the course. I'm not going to be distracted by this. And I asked someone earlier, might have been one of our esteemed producers, she might be doing the show right now, and I said, where's Melania? If you're sitting in a courtroom, this is a criminal case, you can't go anywhere. Where's Melania? And where's an extra shot of espresso? Because he's falling asleep, folks. He cannot do this for what's supposed to be 6 weeks. You know, it's going to turn into several months. Just seating the jury might take 6 weeks at this rate. It might. It takes the judge 30 minutes to go through the whole reading of and this and that. And can you be impartial? That. I wish I was on that jury. Don't you think I could be impartial? I think I could. I think I could be impartial. I think I could. Donald Trump at it again. We'll continue to follow the case and bring you more details as they emerge. Many of them on Truth Social, many of them not true.